Hey, you little freaky guys. Welcome to the Midnight Soup Podcast. I'm your host, Emily. And if you don't know me, well, where'd you come from? How'd you find me? I thought, you know what? Everybody and their mom has a podcast. Every white man has a podcast. That's for damn sure. So why can't I? So I got a mini mic here and I have a broad range of interests. And there's a lot of stuff that I like to research. I like to learn about. I like to talk about, I like to yap. Some of you like to listen. So let's kick it, guys. Let's hang out. I thought a great place to start with this podcast, the first episode, would be, let's talk about Sparkle Quest. If you follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, you will likely be aware of Sparkle Quest, the journey to the realm of radiance. We're trying to regain our sparkle because somewhere in the last year and a half, where'd she go? She's missing. I don't know where my sparkle is, but I gotta find it because I just don't feel like myself lately. So let's start by identifying, okay, what is a sparkle to me? When I say I'm looking for my sparkle, what is it that I'm really looking for? And to me, having a sparkle, it's when you are so in the flow and you're in a direct communication with the universe and you're listening to your intuition and you are having synchronicities, you're having opportunities come up, you're having conversations with people that feel meant to be and aligned, and you're magnetic and you're confident and you feel so authentically yourself. And it feels so right and so good when you're in that space. And I'll tell you what, I will spend my entire life searching for that sparkle again. So when you lose something, what do? You retrace your steps, try to find it. So that was me rewinding the tape back to, when did I last have my sparkle? When did I feel that feeling of being in the flow, in alignment, in communication with the universe? I want to say, let's go back to like 3 years ago. I was living with my family in my family's house, my sister's house. I love them, but I was so craving my own space. I desperately wanted to live alone. Because 1, I'm a hermit. 2, I'm an introvert. 3, I got a lot of trinkets and I like to display them and I like to look at them in my alone time. I like to have my time with my trinkets. Okay? And I was in a desk job in a 9-to-5 that it was a good job. But I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I was feeling like a caged bird. And I was in a relationship that wasn't fulfilling me. And it wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling respected or heard. And so if there was ever a time when I was dull and not sparkly, this was a real time. I was in it. I was in the shit. And this was also this was my Saturn return too. And so in one of my maladaptive daydreaming sessions, which I love to have, that's one of my hobbies, is if I weren't here talking to this camera and this microphone, we'd still be having this conversation. But the we is me and whatever spirits are in my house right now. Because I love it. Since I was a kid, I love to pretend that I'm being interviewed. So mic or no mic, I'm here doing this every night. It's Tuesday. It's just a regular Tuesday. So in one of my maladaptive daydreaming sessions, I'm thinking, hey, what if my life was a movie? You know? And what if there's an audience? I'm thinking like, what if this is a Truman Show? What kind of character would I be if my life was a movie and we're in like, you know, I'm in season 3 here. what kind of movie character am I? What kind of show character am I? And so I started thinking about like different celebrities, different characters that I related to and that had characteristics that I wanted to exude more of. And I started to research a little bit, and I was like, what shows really, like, what characters just really like inspire me in this way that I am craving? I was doing that, and I was also thinking like, okay, what am I lacking in my life right now? What am I not feeling good about in my life right now? And I wasn't feeling confident enough. I wasn't feeling bold enough. And there was like this true, authentic part of myself that was just like begging to come out, that was like, I want to be crazy. I want to be out there, and I want to be myself and free and wild. And I want to wear what I want to wear, bold, colorful outfits. And I want to say whatever. I was just like I said, I felt like I was feeling like a caged bird. And so I was like, I'm going to take control of this situation because this is my life. So I picked 3 characters that I loved certain parts of their personality, and I was going to kind of take on in my own way, in like a fake it till you make it sort of way, until I really felt like confident. So these are the characters that I chose, and they might seem so weird and out there to you, but at the time, like, this is what I was needing. Fran Drescher in The Nanny. She was loud and bold and fabulous, and her style was like so out there and just its own thing. And she was just like, this is who I am. I'm here. You know, and that's what I so desperately wanted more of that. Like, I just felt like I was in this space where I was just so quiet, and I was like chill girl, and I was like not speaking my truth. I felt small. I felt subdued, and I wanted to be out there and like crazy and bold. So that was one, Fran Drescher in The Nanny specifically. The Toad from Thumbelina. Okay. I think her name's Mrs. Toad. She's another character that's just like total diva, and she's just out there, and she's shaking her thing, and she's like, yes, this is show business, baby. And who's the voice of that? It's Charo. So love, love, love. Number 3, Dolly Parton. So we're getting a theme here. You guys are feeling the theme. Divas who know their worth. They're loud, they're colorful, they're vibrant. They wear what they want to wear. And the thing about Dolly that's so great too is that she's known her worth since before anybody else knew how great she was. She was like, I know I'm great. And people are going to criticize me, but this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. And whether you like it or not, I'm here. And this is what it is. And I love that. And I wanted more of that. Plus, Dolly is like so smart and creative and incredible. I love Dolly. One of my all-time favorites. So anyways, so I was like, yes, I'm going to take on parts of these personality, almost like I'm going to do a little bit of like method acting or something, you know? So I started I live in a small town desk job. I'm wearing like neon green fur collared jacket over like a hot pink dress and a high 90s pony. Like I'm freaking going hard with it. You know what I mean? Like I was dressing wacky and I loved every second of it. And at first I was like, oh, I feel so weird. Like I feel a little bit self-conscious about doing this, but you know what? Whatever. It was just like such a fuck it time where I was like, I'm just going to be myself. I don't care where I am. I don't care what the occasion is. This feels good to me. I'm going to do it. And so I was like taking on this persona of I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to say what I want to say, and I'm going to speak my truth, And that's that. And the people who don't like it, doesn't matter to me because I'm just having a good time. And so I started also so because I was kind of cosplaying a little bit as these characters, I started to really fully take on these traits it's important that there's something within you. Like, this wasn't out of left field. That's like part of me inside that was just wanting to come out so badly. So it was like, I resonate with those characters because I'm part of that. Like, part of that is me, but it's just buried under like, conditioning, rejection, feelings of low self-worth, whatever, years and years of all this stuff stacked up, conditioning, patterns, whatever. But it's under there. So what I noticed was taking on these traits of these characters, I felt bolder and I felt more confident, and my self-worth started to get higher and higher. And I ended the relationship where I was honestly being treated poorly. I ended that relationship. I went to my job and I was like, hey, these are the things that I want and I need. And, this current situation, like, it's worked for this long, but it's not working for me anymore. So something different needs to happen. And you know what happened? My job said, okay, you're valuable to us. We don't want to lose you, so we're going to do what we need to do to make this work for both of us. So once I found myself in that space, it was a fake it till you make it situation. But you know what? It worked. That works. I was advocating for myself. My self-worth skyrocketed. I was being my true self. And I was like, hey, this is who I am. I accept myself. I like myself. And if you don't like it, it's not my problem. And so I just, it was like full send. I was like, this is it. I was going out, I was saying yes to opportunities and experiences just for the plot of the TV show. And it got interesting. And the audience was like, hell yeah, we're going to stay tuned into this shit because it's badass, dog. That's what they said. And that's what I imagine they said when they were watching my show. So as a result of that, I manifested my viral video. And you know how I did it? You know how? Being my full, true, authentic self. Saying, hey, you know what? Screw this. I don't even care. I turned on the camera because I was just like in my flow. I was just having a good time. I was like, I'm just going to film this, whatever. Jumping around saying, this is me. I'm a multi-passionate person. I accept that. My whole life, I was like, I've always felt like, oh, I have to choose something. And even still, I feel that pressure of like, I have to put myself in a singular box. And life could be easier. If I had said years ago, this is the path I'm going to take that's laid out, maybe it would be different. But I have never been that person. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to accept that. I like to do a lot of different stuff. I have a lot of different interests. I'm never going to piss or get off the pot. I'm going to piss in a lot of pots, whatever that means. I'm going to piss in every single pot that I see that interests me. So that viral video took me from under 1,000 followers, one video, to 70,000 followers. 70 to 80,000, 70,000 followers, yeah. And it was literally like overnight. I mean, that's crazy. But I did that because I was so in flow and I was just following my intuition. And I was like, whatever direction like feels right, I was following my joy. That's where it took me. That's why we're here now. And then after that, I manifested my partner in Scotland on a trip that I went for my 30th birthday that I didn't think was going to happen either. For years I was like, I want a solo trip to Scotland when I turn 30. And then I got to a space where I was like, I don't know, I can't afford it. And then I just said, fuck it, I'll figure it out. And I did it. I met my now boyfriend, who a lot of you will know, Spoon Man. So, that's a story for another time. But what I'm saying is, that's when I was so sparkly. I was in it. I was flowing. I was, ooh, ba, ba, hey, he, ah. You know what I'm saying? I was so shiny and sparkly and twinkly. I was like a star. And you could see me from thousands and thousands of miles away. The universe could see me from that far away. They were like, hey, there she is. Let's go get her. Let's get our girl. Felt good. It was a good time. And not to say that, like, you're not going to be in your sparkle all of the time. That's not realistic. Life is like the seasons, right? We're going to have these times when it's spring, everything's blooming, everything's happening, popping. And then we're going to go into fall, we're shedding, we're nostalgic. Maybe we're looking back at what worked, what didn't work. We're thinking about what's important to us. Then winter, we're resting, recovering, and preparing to bloom again in the spring. So yeah, I've been in this space of, I think, just deep rest. And honestly, I think a little bit of like burnout recovery. It just takes a long time. I'm ready. It's almost spring. So this is a perfect time to come back out of my box. I've been hibernating. I've been resting. I've been scheming, plotting. And like a lot of you, I think you've also been in that space. And I don't really pay that much attention to like the new year, as in January 1st. I really look more to an astrological new year, which is more like Aries season. And, I'm almost ready to like pop back out like a jack in the box. Hey guys, surprise! I'm sparkly. Found it. Not yet, but we're working on it. So that's what Sparkle Quest is. I'm like thinking about, okay, when are the times when I was sparkliest and what was I doing? Because you forget. Life gets heavy. And yeah, one of those things I was doing the most was following my joy and really listening. What is bringing me joy right now? And tapping into like that childlike wonder, How can I experience awe today? How can I feel like a kid again? What did I like to do as a kid? Like, I love to play dress up. I love to do art. I love to make stuff with my hands. I love to be in nature. And laugh and like play and not take things so seriously. Like lighten up a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I would say your assignment this episode is to think about what 3 characters would you choose? What 3 characters have something that you feel like you're lacking that you want to bring more of into your life? And leave a comment about your characters because I'm super curious. And I'm also in the process of trying to figure out what my new characters are, what resonates with me right now. So yeah, drop some below that you feel like you're vibing with. And like, subscribe, share if this is interesting to you. So thanks for watching, listening, hanging out with me. And my next episode is actually going to be an episode with my friend Taylor. And it's going to be in sort of the witchy folklore realm. We did some research for this one, and that's going to be a regular occurrence as well, because we both are really into like the occult and mysticism, and we're really excited to see where that takes us. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram at emily.earthing. Check out my Substack account at Midnight Soup. And like, subscribe, share. Oh, and then on TikTok, Madam Toad. And my website is madamtoad.com. Stay sparkly. Bye.